Yo! What's good, everybody? It's your boy King Don, and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be doing what if Deku had Kaioken. So I've been really wanting to do this what if, and I'm just gonna go right into it. Without further ado, let's get started. So we're gonna start this story off with Izuku finding out that he's quirkless. He would be sitting there and distraught and in disbelief. And just like in anime, he would go home and watch that video of All Might with his mom, just comforting him. After his mom would comfort Izuku, she would actually go on the phone and call Hisashi and tell him that Izuku's quirkless and he's quirkless. Hisashi would have a fit and be mad and just say this is outrageous, and he's like, I never wanted that son anyways. That's your boy. I don't want to ever see you or him again. And he hangs up the phone, with Inko even crying in more despair. Her sounds like, how could you, Hisashi? And Izuku walks in and is like, what did that do? And Inko's like, Izuku, no, it's fine. And Izuku's like, tell me, Mom, what happened with you and Dad? He's like, well, Dad went out to get the milk. And Izuku, he knew that saying because everyone at school was saying that saying, and he started to break down in tears with his mom, suddenly realizing that he knows what that means. Izuku would quickly wipe away his tears and say, no, I'm not going to be a disappointment. I don't care if I'm quirkless, and I don't care if my deadbeat dad leaves us. I'm going to become a hero, Mom. I don't care, and I'll do whatever it takes. With Inko looking at Izuku, like, Izuku, and just in disbelief. And Inko's like, okay, Izuku, if you think you can do it, alright then. How about we get you in some martial arts classes? And Izuku would start jumping around, be like, yeah, martial arts, that'll get me up to All Might level. With Inko having a little smile despite the heavy challenges ahead. So they'll go to the martial arts class, and he would tell the sensei that he's quirkless and he wants to join his class to become stronger. The teacher would tell Izuku that this dojo is for quirk users. You gotta have a quirk because it could be dangerous if you don't have one, because our kids, they're very proficient without martial arts and using the quirk. With Izuku looking at the man right in the eyes and says, I don't care. That's even better. If I'm able to become strong and beat those kids with quirks, I'd become unstoppable. And I'll be able to become a hero. And the teacher would be like, okay, kid, how do I explain this to you? The world wants to pretend like pretend like everyone is equal, but in reality we're not. We all have quirks, some don't. But let's stop pretending that everyone is the same, alright, kid? How many times do I have to tell you this? You can't join our classes because you don't have a goddamn quirk. With Inko's like, you no need for the language, and Izuku's like hitting the ground, like, oh, that was way too loud, Jesus Christ. He's like, I don't care, sir. Please let me join your school. Please. The teacher would sigh and look at Izuku's face, and he'll see an intense glance, the most intense glance he's ever seen, especially for a kid. And he would say, alright, kid, I won't guarantee you won't get your ass kicked. I mean, your butt, kid. Sorry, ma'am. But, I mean, shoot, if you guys pay on time and you're willing to learn, sure, I'll let you in. With Izuku jumping and enjoying Inko, being excited for Izuku but a little worried of what's ahead to come. Izuku, while in the class, would be constantly bullied by the top students. he would be like, "What is a quirkless kid doing here, Sensei?" And the sensei's like, "Let it be. Alright, he'll be joining us. Say hello to Mr. Midoriya, everyone." It's like, "Hello, Midoriya." And yeah, and Izuku would learn, the beginning regiment, like 10 punches and 10 kicks. So Izuku would continue to do this, and after the class, he would actually be stopped by the top students saying, "Hey, kid, what are you even doing here? You know you're gonna get yourself killed, right? We all have quirks, and we have strong ones too. What do you think a quirkless loser's gonna do here?" With Izuku be like, "Okay, that may be true, but I don't care. I'm gonna become the first quirkless hero. Just wait and see." And they're like, "Alright, kid, whatever." And they punch Izuku right in the gut, and like, if you couldn't even dodge that punch, you would never last in here. With Izuku falling onto the ground, grabbing his stomach in pain, with the kids laughing off. Izuku the next day would show up even more determined than ever, and Izuku would be given separate lessons from the other kids because he is a beginner and this is more an advanced class. So the sensei would give Izuku a certain amount of things he should do in the amount of time a class would be, and he'll go and teach other students. So he'll give Izuku 10 kicks each leg and 10 punches each arm, since he's only 5 years old. But Izuku realized that if he wants to become a great hero, a hero without a quirk, he needs to work 10 times as harder. So instead of doing 10, he does 30 on each. He just keeps punching and pushes through the pain. His arm is aching and it's sore, but he does not care. He keeps punching all these legs and kicks and all that stuff. And after that it was done, he actually started doing some push-ups. The most right now he could only struggle for was barely 5. And Izuku would see that he's physically weak and this is not gonna do. So the sensei would walk in and be like, "Okay, kid, class is finished. Did you get everything done?" And it's like, Izuku's like, "Yeah, I did. Thank you, sensei." With Izuku quickly scurrying out. But as he got home, he was not done. He continued doing punches endlessly, until he just passed out from exhaustion. And he woke up the next day. He saw himself on the floor and dusted himself off, got some breakfast, and straight went outside to punch the tree. The big tree, punches and kicks every single day. Izuku for 2 whole months will continue doing the same thing, still getting abused by the other students, getting ridiculed by Bakugou at school, but Izuku does not care. All of this is just making him more determined and more dedicated to his craft. So Izuku, after 2 months, is easily able to do 100 punches and kicks on each leg without breaking a sweat, and he's able to do 50 push-ups before he even starts sweating. And Izuku's physique, it's up there for a 5-year-old now. So the sensei will walk in one day. It's like, "Alright, kid, let's see how you doing. It's your exam to see if you can advance to other class. Alright, let me see. Punch!" And Izuku does a punch, and this punch shows a lot of power and confidence around that punch, and the sensei would be very impressed, and he'd be like, "Kick!" And Izuku would do a kick, and yet again the kick would have such power and strength to it that the sensei couldn't deny it. He'd be like, "Oh, kid, I'm surprised. You really are talented, huh?" And Izuku's like, "No, I'm not talented at all, actually. I just practice really hard. Every day after class is finished, I would go outside and just punch the trees until I got my fundamentals right." And the sensei would be impressed and be like, "Alright, kid, I guess you weren't lying. You really do want to be the best in here. Alright then, since you're willing to do that, let's crank it off to 100. with the sensei having a big smile on his face. So Izuku, for I'm gonna say it for the past uh, past 2 years with just having, you know, lessons with the sensei with the other kids, and Izuku would constantly try to challenge all the best kids, all the kids, but he would proceed to always be dominated and thrashed over. But Izuku did not care. Every time he would be defeated, he would go into his corner and just keep practicing and practicing. Everyone would laugh at Izuku for actually, practicing, but the sensei would notice this. After another 2 months goes by, Izuku started to, let's just say, transform. He is probably one of the fittest 6-year-olds they could be, right now. Not really, but yeah, he's really good, and for his age, for sure. So Izuku finally challenges one of the kids and says, "I'm ready. Come at me with all your strength." And the kid just kind of laughs. He's like, "Alright, kid." And he, dashes to Izuku, trying to use his quirk with it. But Izuku, after seeing this guy's move probably thousands of times, he's able to dodge him quickly and able to defeat the guy. With everyone gasping like, "Wait, he was able to beat what?" And Izuku's like, it's like, "Finally." And everyone's like, "What?" And the second strongest in the class is like, Izuku, you think cause you finally can actually defeat Connor of all people, you think you can waltz in here and think you're the best? Why don't you try to beat me? And Izuku would be like, "Gladly." And he would face this kid and honestly destroy him. Everyone being amazed and astonished that a quirkless kid, Izuku, the kid that they bullied every day, turns out to be the second strongest in the class. Izuku would be looking for who's the strongest in the class, but it turns out he does not show up as often as he should, because he feels like there's no challenge. And the sensei actually tells Izuku, "Well, where you standing right now, if I'm being honest, I don't think you're able to challenge him." But Izuku's like, "Is that so? I'll take that challenge to heart." And he keeps on training, and he learns even more moves from his sensei. And Izuku, he's a fast learner for sure. He's a fast learner because of his critical thinking and his constant ability to adapt. So Izuku, after another year or so, has become an absolute beast. He's undisputedly one of the best in the class without a quirk, and he still unfortunately has not faced a challenger. So I'm gonna say now Izuku's probably like, let's just say 8 years old, and finally he gets to face the top student of the class. Let's call him Tyler. Tyler's actually 13 years old, and that's why he's kind of stayed back and alone and stuff like that. And Connor at first was not impressed with Izuku because he was a kid, and he looked at his sensei. It's like, "Are you serious, sir? You really want me to fight this pipsqueak?" With him nodding his head. So Izuku would be like, "Alright, let's not talk too much. Let's get into position." Kind of going in the stance like what Goku would do, with Connor doing the exact same stance because that's the martial arts they're learning. And Connor would actually dash to Izuku using his quirk. Use your imagination what quirk it is. And he would try to hit Izuku, with Izuku swiftly dodging it, and Tyler quickly noticing that Izuku was quite faster than he thought. And they'll have a great battle, with Izuku in the end actually being the victor. Izuku, through his hard work and determination, after 3 years in the class, has become the top and is able to beat someone older than him. Izuku would feel on top of the world, but the sensei quickly warned him that he's maybe the best in the class, but there's still a long way to go, Izuku, especially if you don't have a quirk. You probably have to be 10 times of what I am right now. And Izuku's like, "Alright then, sensei, I'll do that." So Izuku has not having after spending another 7 years there, and now he's 15 years old. And at this point, Izuku's got a very muscular but lean structure, which is quite absurd, and he's close to superhuman strength. You could no, I'm not gonna say that. He's at his peak of strength, and at this point, Izuku, like the sensei said he would need to be, he has become 10 times of what the sensei is, and essentially has defeated the sensei multiple times. And Izuku now, after finding this newfound strength, has become a little arrogant, you could say. He's starting to feel himself a little too much. Izuku, after defeating his sensei the 10th time, he'd say, "Can't believe you're my sensei, of all people." Well, everyone be like, "Ooh, Izuku, you can't be saying that." And Izuku just looks at them, and they're all just scared of Izuku now, because he's turned into an absolute beast. With the sensei, getting up, is like, "Izuku, we all know you're strong, but if you continue to have this cocky attitude, it's only gonna bite you on the butt. Remember, as much as I don't want to keep reminding you, but I have to, you're still quirkless. There's still people out there that can do abnormal stuff. Look at All Might. You think you could go against All Might? I don't think so. The most at your level, you'd probably be able to go up against petty thieves. But besides that, I don't see you becoming a top tier hero." With Izuku being pissed at his teacher, like, "Huh? You really think that? After I beat your butt multiple times and everyone in this goddamn class? I don't need a goddamn quirk, you hear me?" And with the sensei, it's like, "Alright then, Izuku, if you say so. Just don't let it bite you in the future." And Izuku just scoffing it off. So Izuku would be coming home late at night, and he'll stop at a convenience store just to get his quick snack, until he noticed that the cashier is being robbed by a villain with gray hair, and he seems to have a knife manipulation quirk. I don't know, I just made up a quirk. And he's like, "Give me all the money, or you don't want to get sliced up." With the cashier quickly giving him all the money. Izuku, seeing this and thinking that he's ready now, would quickly run in to try to get the man back his money. And he'll jump in like, "Hey, give back his money back." He's like, "What are you gonna do about it, kid?" But Izuku quickly going in and actually disarming him of the knife and taking him straight to the ground. It's like this. And the guy would just, laugh again, "Alright then, kid." And he'll kick Izuku out of the store. And he would, have the knife summoned back in his hand. It's like, "You really want to do this?" And Izuku's like, "Yeah." And he proceed to fight the villain. And Izuku was victorious. And the villain's like, No, please!" And he start running away with Izuku running after him. Izuku would follow the villain into this dark alleyway. And the villain would turn back and quickly grin. It's like, "Gotcha." And Izuku would be like, "Huh?" And suddenly, 6 other guys with, let's just say enhancer quirks, with strength quirks and all that stuff. Just different types of quirk would proceed to jump Izuku, and Izuku would actually be beat up very bad. He would actually have a broken arm and like several broken ribs. Izuku would be lying there coughing out blood, trying to gasp for air, with the villain saying, "Next time, don't have to step to us." And don't ever try to think your kind could ever step up to defeat a quirk. Remember your place, trash. Walking off. That Loki sounded racist without context, but yeah. But anyways, Izuku would be lying there on the floor, bleeding out. Izuku with being in the hospital full of bandages, with Inko crying like Izuku, Izuku, and then suddenly his sensei would barge in and be like Izuku, and Inko would be like, you, how could you let this happen? I let you train at that place for years. You said he said it. You said that he'll develop skills to be able to defend himself. And he's like, I'm sorry, man. You're right. I let him get to this point, even though his potential and his strength is uncanny. He was too arrogant, and I let that slip by. I'm so sorry. With Inko walking up to his sensei and slapping it in the face, it's like, Shin, I thought we were friends. I thought you wouldn't let my boy Izuku get hurt. But look at him now. Look at him. And Izuku be like, Mom, it's not his fault. With both them both gasping and looking at Izuku, with Inko trying to, get him to stop talking. But he's like, no, it's not Sensei Shin's fault. He actually warned me about this, but I didn't listen. He was absolutely right. I was no match for those groups of thugs. Now imagine how pathetic I'd be against someone with a quirk like All Might. And it's like, it's okay, Izuku, just rest up. And Izuku would start crying, be like, after all these years, after all that training, after overcoming being the best in my class, it still availed to nothing. With Izuku just, crying his balls off. Pause. Crying profusely. And the sensei is like, Izuku, there's something that you can do to become even more stronger. And Izuku would look at his sensei and be like, huh? I tried to mention it to you earlier, but you stormed off, not even acknowledging me. But there's a way for you to become even more stronger than you were before. And he's like, what is it, sensei? There's a forest out in the south of Japan. A forest filled with different types of beasts. Majestic beasts, beasts with quirks, you name it. It's ruthless out there. My master actually went there, and fortunately for him, he lost his leg. But he said the strength and the instinct he developed at that place was uncanny. It was something he's never experienced before. But before he can make it out the forest to use his strength, this wild beast, this wild monster of a bear with a fire quirk, my master tried to put up a great fight against him, but unfortunately in the end, the bear took his leg and his hand. The sensei did put a scar on him, but that's all he was able to manage. And now he lives his life, and the remainder of his life in a wheelchair. Well, Zuko, it's your choice if you want to go to that forest and develop such uncanny skill, or give up and stay at the place you are right now. It's up to you, Izuku. With Izuku looking at the sensei, giving her a quick grin, saying, okay, sensei. Alright. I'll go to the forest. With Inko be like, no, Izuku, you're not going. And he's like, Mom, you gotta allow me to do this. I know I got hurt, but that's only because I was careless. I did not use my brain. I did not apply all the lessons I learned from Sensei Shin when I should have been humble and strategic and just overall a better student. But this time I won't make that mistake. This time I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it out of that forest. I'm gonna unlock that unknown strength your master was unable to do. I'm gonna do the impossible. I'm gonna become the first quirkless hero. with all of them smiling and Inko, unable to convince Izuku not to go, and she finally accepts it. So Izuku, after a few weeks, recovering from that massive fight, Izuku and Sensei Shin prepare to go out to the majestic forest. That's what I'm calling it because it sounds sick. So they head out to the forest, and Izuku could quickly feel the amount of pressure, the amount of death, the amount of wild beasts there are in that very same forest. Izuku was physically shaking, so was Izuku's sensei, but they both pushed through it because they knew if they wanted to reach higher heights, they need to get through this trial. So they set up camp, and they would start, doing some light training, as usual, things they do at the dojo, until they suddenly hear a large, well, let's say a loud roar from such a beast from the distance, and they both were shaken up. And they both realized that if they wanted to survive here, they needed to become animals themselves. So they started hunting these beasts. First they went for rabbits, and these rabbits were no average rabbits. These rabbits were quite fast. They had like a little quirk, to shimmy them around. Izuku's sensei was unable to catch him, but Izuku, through his determination and his useful critical thinking, he was able to catch him, with them progressively going up and up and up until they're able to take on a normal buffalo, this time with no quirk. So one night they would be in the campfire just cooking out the buffalo they had, and Izuku would be like, Sensei, I want to thank you for everything you've done. If you weren't here, and the sensei cuts him off. I know what you're gonna say, Izuku, and I want to say without you too, I wouldn't even be here. Izuku gasps, what do you mean, sir? It's like, I still remember that exact same day you came into my door, and you slammed your fist on the ground, saying that no matter what it takes, you're gonna be the first quirkless hero. Seeing that determination in your eyes allowed me to take you as a student, and seeing you put in such hard work and dedication despite your circumstance really inspired me and forced me to become better. But even though you inspired me to become better, you surpassed me. And I'm supposed to have a quirk. And Izuku's like, Sensei. It's like, no. I don't want to make it weird, but in a sense, you're kind of like a son to me. I've never really, how do I say this? I've never met a student like you. Remind me of myself. I don't know. But Izuku smiles like, yeah, if I'm being honest, you're the only father figure I have in my life. My dad left me at 4. The exact same thing. I found out I was quirkless. I was in distress and angry. But when I met you, the anger went to peace. And I was able to look on a bright future where I can maybe become a hero. No, I will become a hero. With both of them, smiling at each other, being happy, until suddenly, boom! A bunch of trees are just cut off their roots and just thrown at Izuku and Sensei Shin. Both of them being able to dodge them quite easily. And they quickly realized that loud roar they heard earlier, it was the exact same beast. The exact same beast that was able to disable Shin's master. Shin's like, it's the beast, Izuku. It's the beast, run! With both of them just running for their lives, because they both know from already from that aura the bear's giving off that they dead. And the bear was actually able to catch one of them lacking. He was able to slash the sensei's back, and the sensei instantly coughed out blood, and blood was gushing right out of his back. And Izuku would see this and be like, "Sensei!" You know, with a large scream. And he would see that the sensei, you know, is about to die. And Izuku having this mental breakdown that, you know, he just got this father figure in his life, and, you know, he can't lose his sensei. Izuku faces the bear and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you!" And with the bear just kind of giving another big roar, and Izuku, you know, feeling his environment, learning everything he's had, suddenly just has this big burst of energy, and Izuku can't even describe this feeling. His muscles were in agony, and he would just have this purple aura around him. And Izuku would not care what this is right now. He feels stronger, and he feels like he can take on that bear. And Izuku jumps at the bear, you know, head first, and the bear tries to slash him, but Izuku's reaction time is double than it was before, and he's able to see it. And he, you know, flips onto the bear's arm, kicking it right in the face, hurting the bear. And Izuku could feel already that that punch was 2 times stronger than his other punches. And Izuku just grins. He's like, "I guess this is the power sensei's master unlocked." "Time to die, bear." With the bear just, you know, now using his fire quirk and shooting fireballs at Izuku, with Izuku dodging it with 2 times the speed he has before. And like I said before, Izuku's strength is almost superhuman, like normally. Now with this 2 times booster, it puts him up there for sure. It puts him up there for sure. Izuku's dodging, you know, the fireballs, you know, more agile than usual, and he's like, "Time to end it." And he's like, "Ah!" And he throws a freaking haymaker of a punch onto the bear, you know, snapping its jaw with the bear, trying to, you know, with the bear screaming in agony. And the bear would try to use his fire quirk, but now that he can't breathe out the fire since his jaw is broken, the fire just burns the bear's face, and the bear is stunned. And now Izuku's like, "It's my time!" And he actually grabs the axe they used to get campfire wood, and he'll be like, "This is for my sensei." And he would slice the bear. He would slice the bear's stomach, letting the bear bleed out, and you would just see all the live animals that it's eating. Like his stomach sliced and digest it all, and all that stuff. And the bear is just screaming agony, with fire coming off it and stuff. With it finally dying, and Izuku's like, "Rest in peace." And Izuku would quickly run to his sensei, and he's like, "Sensei!" And he would still have this strange red aura around him, but he would pick up his sensei and quickly run out of the forest. And he was able to do that in record time and find the closest hospital. Fortunately for Izuku, he was able to get there in time, and the sensei was able to live. But Izuku, as he gave his sensei to the doctors, he would instantly the red aura around him would disperse, and Izuku's muscles would be in ache like he's about to die, and just instantly pass out. Izuku would wake up in a hospital bed with an IV attached to him, and he's like, what the hell happened? With his sensei next to him, he's like, with the, you know, walking IV with him, he's like, "So you awake too, huh?" And Izuku's like, "What the hell happened?" "Beats me. I don't know. I only saw things vividly. I remember getting slashed by that bear and just seeing this red aura. Must have been the hero. Just killed the bear and took me to safety. And now I'm here. And if you're gonna ask, I have no idea how you got here too." And Izuku hearing this, remembers that there was no hero. It was Izuku, and Izuku was the person with the red aura. He's like, Sensei, there was no hero. He's like, what? What you mean? It's like, I had that I had that red aura, and they both like, and no, the Sensei, he's like, wait, what? You're saying that Izuku, you have a quirk? And Izuku's like, no, in a sense, I don't think this is a quirk. And the Sensei's like, what you mean? You used that sounds like a quirk to me. That's a power. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, but this felt different. This felt like this energy was coming out of my own body and just pushed my body to the limit. I felt 2 times stronger than I did before, and this energy was just pouring out of me, but draining my stamina right out of me. It's such a weird sensation. It's so hard for me to recall how it felt like, but just I don't know what to say. And the Sensei's like, this is most definitely the power that my master was talking about. He said the exact same words. He said this was no quirk, but it felt like an enhancement to him. He felt like he was stronger than he was before. The Sensei did mention that the Sensei did mention that forest had abnormally higher nature energy than any other place on Earth, and the potentials. That's the only reason why the animal state was able to develop quirks. So maybe it is a quirk. And Zuko's like, I don't think so, sir. I think maybe we should go back to the forest and figure it out. When the Sensei's like, I agree. Especially now that Bear's gone, I don't think there's anything for us to worry about. So Izuku and Sensei Shin actually exit the building, take out the IVs, and like, they don't care, we're fine. And the doctors try to stop them, but they're like, we're fine, with them actually being fine. So they'll go back to the forest, and Izuku would yet again try to use this energy he did before, but he just cannot access it for unknown reasons. So Izuku would, just start exploring the forest, and Izuku would be walking around, and suddenly he would fall in a hole, and he'd be like, what? Dust himself off, like, what the hell happened? And he would look up and he'd see just the scroll just saying, external energy, Kaioken? And it's just like, what the hell is... And he's like, wait, could this be the... And he instantly opened the scroll, and he would read, this is an ancient technique back in the day where quirks weren't a thing, where, let's just say, King Kai, let's just say he was a human that developed this, that only a selected amount of beings are able to access this strength. People with such determination and strength. Only 10 people in history were able to use these, but they unfortunately were only able to surpass times 10 Kaioken, and it just explains everything about Kaioken to Izuku. And Izuku's like, I was right, this is not a quirk, it's an ability for my body, something I can use. Ki? So I'm the selected few that has ki. Interesting. And he would go back to his sensei, and he would tell him sensei all about this, with the sensei wondering if he had ki, but he highly doubted. It only makes sense why his master and Izuku has it, because those are the two people he's never seen before in his life. He felt like those guys were prodigies, and they somewhat were, because they had ki, which enhanced them. So Izuku, after having the successful trip in the forest and finding out about this new Kaioken thing, finally heads back home after, let's say this was let's just say this was like a 2-month span. So they finally head back home. So Izuku's excited to explore his new power in Kaioken and, discover how he can become the first quirkless hero. And at this point now, it's the beginning of the anime. Izuku in class, would just be thinking about Kaioken. It's like, Kaioken. It's like, I need to figure out everything. The person that was only times 10 of it, I could barely do times 2. This is all just so stressful. With him mumbling so loud that everyone could hear, and they're like, Izuku, shut up. But Izuku's like, oh, alright. And the teacher had mentioned, the court, everyone here with Bakugou doing the same old speech. And he's like, oh, Midori, you want to go to UA? With everyone just laughing at Izuku's like, Izuku, Midori, and doing all that nonsense. And Izuku's like, to be honest, I don't care what you guys think. I may have something up my sleeve that could make me one of the greatest heroes of all time. So I suggest you guys stop laughing. I want to be like All Might. I want to be just like him. And Bob was like, you can't do that without a quirk, Izuku. You're nothing but a pathetic loser, Deku. And Izuku's like, I don't appreciate it when you call me that, Katsuki. And it's like, whoa, they're getting at it. And they just, alright, you two, stop this. Alright, let's proceed forward. So after class, Bakugou comes up to Izuku's like, oi, Izuku. You think you could just say that nonsense in class and I'll let you get away with that? Don't ever take the UA entrance exam. You're only gonna get yourself killed. I don't care how much martial arts you have. You're still weak without a quirk. And it looks like, I don't know about that, Katsuki. How about this, actually? Let me show you what a quirkless loser like me can do to you. And Bakugou's like, is that a challenge? But Izuku's like, yes, I'm challenging you to a fight, Bakugou. Just you and me. Not me, you and your goons. Just me and you. You man enough to take up the challenge? Where Bakugou's like, shut up, Izuku. Of course. I'll gladly accept any challenge where I can beat up someone so weak. Where Bakugou's going like, oh, okay. Sean's like, it's gonna be a fight. And everyone in the hall's like, wait, what? Looking, it's like, Bakugou and Izuku, they're gonna fight. And they're like, oh, we should probably go there. We need to see this. And everyone's just following them outside. And everyone's just like laughing at this thing because Izuku, he may take martial arts, may look physically fit, but he's still quirkless, and they believe Baku's gonna win under all circumstances. But what they don't know is that despite even Izuku not having Kaioken, he's at a superhuman, physicality and strength. Superhuman physicality and strength. So yeah, they go outside and Falco's like, ready to die, Deku. And Zuko's like, I don't think so, Bakugou. With both of them going at each other, with Bakugou trying to throw an explosion, with Zuko quickly dodging it and jumping over Bakugou, kicking him right at the back, making Bakugou fall to the ground. Bakugou would feel disrespected and get up and try to blitz to Izuku again, but Izuku would just laugh and be like, oh, alright then. And he says, Kaioken burst! But he does not actually go into Kaioken. He only says Kaioken burst because while he's in Kaioken, he had this attack where he, blitzed right into the bear and headbutted him. Well, not headbutted, he punched him and, whatever. So Izuku blitzed to Bakugou and he jumps right above him and does a Superman punch right to his head, completely knocking out Bakugou, making him bleed and everything. Everyone see this would be in shock. Izuku himself would be in shock, and since he was able to defeat Bakugou, someone he looked up to all these years, despite all this, negativity he's given him and everything, he's just can't believe it. And Izuku in shock actually runs away back home. That's when he actually contemplates what happened, and he's like, oh my gosh, I finally beat Bakugou, with him being so happy and glad this happened to him. That's where I'm gonna leave it off today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you guys want a part 2 movie, please get this to 25 likes. Yeah, if you guys want to see that, 25 likes, and yeah, if not, it's gonna forever float in the abyss, and you're gonna ruin for the people that actually want to see it. Well, yeah, and if you guys haven't, subscribe and leave a notification, because I love you guys to not subscribe, but just subscribe. I make good content when I do make it. But yeah, I'm gonna get back on my grind for sure. Yeah, because I miss this, bro. As much as I take breaks and stuff, I miss this stuff now. So yeah, it's been your boy King Donald signing out. Peace.